Welcome to Margin of Thought, where we make space for the questions that matter. I'm your host, Priten, and together we'll explore questions that help us preserve what matters while navigating what's coming. This episode is a quick breakdown of what you will hear. This is a podcast about the questions we don't always make time for, but should. We'll explore tensions in modern life that shape how we raise and educate our children. We'll talk to educators, civic leaders, technologists, academics, and students. We'll sit with disagreement. And we'll try to think carefully in a world that rewards speed. I started this show because I've spent the last decade working at the intersection of education, philosophy, and technology. And I keep running into the same problem. The conversations that matter most are often the ones we're least equipped to have. Not because we don't care, but because we don't have the time, the vocabulary, or the space. So think of this podcast as that space. A margin in the noise. A place where we can slow down and ask, how do we preserve what matters while navigating what's coming? That question sits underneath everything I work on. So let me share a little bit about what drives me and what you'll hear explored on the show. I care about citizenship. What makes a good citizen, and how can civic society become a more productive forum for change? I care about education. What is its purpose, and how do we solve the challenges facing educators? I care about the humanities. How do we ensure that they're valued for their role in a healthy democracy? I care about entrepreneurship. How do we encourage innovation that actually solves problems rather than creating new ones? And underneath all of it, I care about humanity. What makes life worth living? How do we protect that, especially for the young people passing through our schools? These concerns are deeply connected, and this podcast is my attempt to explore them in conversation with people who think carefully about them too. The first major thread explores the ethics of education technology, a companion to my upcoming book, Ethical EdTech: How Educators Can Lead on AI and Digital Safety in K-12. You'll hear from professors, teachers, administrators, and students about the dilemmas they're navigating: AI, surveillance, privacy, screen time, things like that. The second thread will be episodes about civics education. What does it mean to prepare students for democratic participation so that they're actually equipped to face future challenges? These threads will run alongside each other. Some episodes will be long-form interviews, and others will be shorter reflections. This podcast is called Margin of Thought because I believe we need more margins, more space to think about what we're building and who it's for. I don't have all the answers, but I do believe this. When we all slow down, think deliberately, and work together, we can shape our institutions to serve our children better. That's the goal, and I'm glad you're here for it. Tune in next time for the first episode of Margin of Thought. Thanks for listening to Margin of Thought. If this episode gave you something to think about, subscribe, rate, and review us. Also, share it with someone who might be asking similar questions. You can find the show notes, transcripts, and my newsletter at priten.org. Until next time, keep making space for the questions that matter.